Hello and welcome to my 540 kick tutorial. Now, this is a pretty cool looking trick, especially considering how easy it really is. Now, if you've tried it already, you might be thinking it's pretty tricky. At first, it can feel quite hard, but if you work through these steps, then it shouldn't be too hard for you to get it. You do need to condition your body to be able to do this type of movement. It's pretty intense on your groin specifically. I know it hurt mine quite a lot when I was first learning it, but practicing the steps we're gonna go over is gonna help you a lot with that and help you avoid some of that pain. Now, before you go for 540 kick, you need to be able to do a tornado kick. And that's pretty much it. As long as you have a good tornado kick, it shouldn't be too hard for you to get a 540 kick. Another thing I'd recommend that will help though is having a good level of dynamic flexibility. So make sure you're going over my dynamic stretching routine and all the other stretching routines, as it's all gonna help regularly, as that's gonna help you with this movement. First one we're gonna do is tornado kick, landing on both feet. So, normal tornado kick, but put as much power in as you can. After you kick, try and bring that right leg down so you land on both feet facing that way. Try and keep your head up the whole time. That's just gonna get you used to doing the rotation for a 540 kick. Next progression for 540 kick. Left leg standing in front, right leg behind, and all you're gonna do, lean into your left leg, swing your right leg up, kick it across, land on your right leg. So I'll show you what I mean. Right leg comes up, land on it. That's just gonna get you the feel for the kick in a 540 kick, because it's pretty much the same thing, just with a spin in front. So standing left leg in front, try and get your right leg as high as possible, try and bend your left knee, keep your head up, keep your arms in. Those are the three things you want to think about when you're working on this progression. Our next progression for 540 kick is going to be this. Standing on your right leg, left knee nice and high, and you're just going to jump round over onto your right leg. Now, it's really important when you do this that after you jump, you turn your hips and bring your leg over. If you keep your hips facing forwards, you're just gonna end up landing like this, and it's gonna be really awkward, and you're probably gonna fall down. So, you don't want that. Stand left leg in front, arms in, use your arms to twist you, try and bring your right knee over. After you've done all of this, you're gonna be training all your 540 kick muscles, and you're gonna be getting used to the feel for it. So after you've worked through all those steps and got them all really easily, then you're gonna wanna try the 540 kick. So let's go over a quick technical breakdown so that you know what to go for, so that you have a good idea of what you want every part of your body to be doing at different times throughout the trick. So first off, I'll start off with your step. Now you want to stay as low to the ground as possible and try not to step too far away. As you can see, I'm pretty much doing this on the same spot, just repositioning my foot. My foot never comes higher than this off the ground, so I stay pretty low to the ground the whole time. It's a really common mistake I'll see where people will lift up that leg and do a massive step into their 540 kick. That doesn't really help you. It's not gonna get you any more height. It's not gonna help you carry any more momentum. Think about when you do a round off or a cartwheel, you're trying to stay as low as possible so that you can block and go as high as possible. The same applies in your step for 540 kick. You wanna step really low and fast so that when you push into the ground, you can go really high and use all of that momentum. If you're doing a really high step, you're not gonna get quite so much power. And onto your legs in the takeoff. I'm going to explain it in terms of left side twisting as I go to the left. If you go to the right, just flip everything around. Whenever I say left leg, think right leg. So after you complete your step, you'll want to drive your left leg both up and across in the direction you're twisting. It's really important that you don't just drive it upwards. Yes, this will give you a lot of height, but you'll find you have a really tough time getting that other leg over the top, and you'll maybe be landing with your chest down in an awkward position with a lot of impact on your landing leg. So it's really important that as you take off, once that left leg's up, you're driving it across in the direction you're twisting to help turn you. As for your kicking leg, you want to keep tension all the way from your leg, up your body, through your hips to your chest. You want everything to be moving as one. You'll notice my leg's not just doing its own thing out there, my whole body is helping to turn my leg over. It's really important that you keep tension throughout the whole of your kicking leg though, as you're bringing it over. If it's loose in any points, then there's more of a risk of you pulling a muscle or straining your leg in some way, as your body's not going to be as together and everything's going to be flopping around a little bit, which you don't want. Make sure you don't start your kick too early. You want to have fully left the ground, have seen your target before you think about extending that kick and bringing it over. That's another common mistake, people trying to kick straight away and cutting into their own height. As if you haven't fully driven up your left leg and started pulling it across and you're already trying to get the right leg up and kick, you're just not going to get as much height. And onto the arms. Now it's much easier for you to watch what my arms are doing rather than me explaining it. You'll see I'm performing this circular motion. I hope these examples help you to see what I'm doing there, though I can explain what to think about after you take off. So once you drive that left knee up, try to drive your left elbow up in time with that left knee. It's really important that they both work at the same time, as that left elbow is going to be generating height as well as your knee. They're going to be working together in perfect harmony to get you up into the air. Also, getting your left elbow / shoulder, just that whole side of your body up, is going to stop you from inverting, as if you leave it down, then when you kick, you're probably going to start leaning to the side and going off axis a little. That's going to make you land in a more uncomfortable position with more stress on your leg, and it's not going to look quite as good or as clean. So make sure you get that shoulder and elbow up in your takeoff. Left arm is setting all of your height. But Kojo, what does the right arm do? Well, the right arm is going to give you all of your twist. So after you've taken off, you got that left arm up, you got that left leg up, the right arm is going to wrap in to help twist you over. Think about performing a twist with your upper body, like you're twisting for a fall or something. Your arm is pulling in to get your body round. As long as your left arm's high enough, you'll still be able to stay nice and vertical, but the right arm is going to work in time with your kicking leg to help turn you round. Make sure you're using that arm properly, as this is one of the most common mistakes, is people doing it with their arms up over their head, which you don't want, as it's going to end up looking something like this. And then onto the spot. As you're taking off, you're driving that left leg up, lifting that left arm up, and then you're about to pull that right arm across, bring your kicking leg over. You want to be looking straight in front at that target. Keep looking at that target even after you've pulled in to twist over, you've turned over your hips, and your kick has gone through your target. Still try to look in front of you. Only when you're coming down out of your kick and you can't look at the target any longer because the rest of your body has already rotated, then you're going to quickly look over your left shoulder and try and spot the target again. Getting that second target spot is super important. It's really tempting to just look at the floor over your left shoulder after you've completed the kick, but that's not going to do you any favors. It's going to make you land with your chest down, with a lot more pressure on your leg, and it's going to make it harder for you to combo into other tricks. So make sure you look back up at your target, as that's going to help you land nice and upright, make your 540 kick look really easy and strong and controlled, and just make it better in general. And onto the timing. Now, I've been mentioning this through my whole explanation, but it's really important that you do these things at the right time. So make sure you're getting that left arm up in time with your left knee coming up, and then you're wrapping your right arm in time with your right leg kicking over. You want your body to be working as one. You don't want all the different limbs doing things at random times, as that's not going to help you. That's what makes tricks look really clean and feel really easy. Those of you who have been tricking for a while might have noticed that I've been doing these 540 kicks with two different techniques. In one, I'm using an inside crescent kick. In the other one, I'm using a round kick. For more information on each of these kicks, then check out the individual tutorials for them on KTL, but I'm going to quickly go over what the difference is. So for the inside crescent kick version, then you're going to turn your hips in time with your leg kicking over. You'll see my knee is pointing upwards as the kick's coming across. Make sure you don't forget to turn your hips though, as lots of people make this mistake and try and get the leg over without turning their hips at the same time. Now for your round kick, it's only a subtle difference, but you're going to turn your hips so your knee is facing towards your target before you kick. You're also going to chamber the kicking leg before extending it. So I'm just going to turn my hips, bend my kicking leg, and then extend through my target. This creates a slightly different aesthetic. It also feels a little different. So just play with both of them. I'd recommend, figure out which one you like best. I like both of them. I use them for different combos depending on what style of combo I'm trying to do. Those are just general technical tips for your 540 kick. You may want to do it slightly differently depending on what you're using it for. You might want to use a longer step if you want to travel more into your 540 kick so that you can get power out of it into another trick, maybe a cartwheel or a B-twisting trick. You might want to drive your left leg more across to the side to generate rotation rather than upwards if you're trying to do a fast, low 540 kick, so you can do a wrap kick out of it. Though I'd recommend thinking about the things I've just said if you're trying to do the highest, easiest looking 540 kick possible. But remember, there are lots of different ways to do this trick depending on what you're using it for. I hope that tutorial helps you with your 540 kick. Remember, if you're really struggling with it, take it back to the progressions. Once you can do all of them, then I'd recommend trying it whenever you feel really good. If you're close, maybe keep trying it until you get it. If you're just slamming or it's hurting because you're landing uncomfortably, then stop trying them, go back to the progressions, do a bunch more of them, and repeat the process until you get it. What you don't want to be doing is trying it over and over again, landing really awkwardly, and end up hurting yourself, because it's easily done. In fact, that's what I did early on. I did way too many of them when I first got them, really hurt my groin, and it meant I couldn't train them for a while. So make sure you build up. When you do first get them, I wouldn't recommend doing any more than 5, really, because your body's gonna have to get used to doing them. So start off small and build up the amount you do every session after that. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the Kojo's Trick Lab members group or message us on Instagram at Kojo's Trick Lab.